In November of 2018, the Consumer Product Safety Commission recalled a line of Kubota mowers and compact tractors because the coolant tank could spray scalding fluid onto the operator, and it burned 3 people. If you own a compact tractor, your machine could be sitting on a federal recall list just like that one, and the dealer who sold it to you had no reason to bring it up. You paid somewhere between $15,000 and $40,000 for it, and nobody ran the recall list before you signed. That is the part nobody explains at the sales desk. A recall is not a repair, so here are 6 of them. 6 real federal recalls a compact tractor buyer should know. 2 of them the side-by-sides parked right beside the tractors on the same lot. Each one is a federal notice that a machine can hurt you. Filed in a public database, almost no buyer opens. And whether the hazard ever got fixed is a different question from whether it got recalled. We are counting down from the recall that got handled to the one that still has owners waiting. The machine at number 1 is often called the best-selling compact tractor in America, and the maker has still not made it right. Number 6, Cadet, the Series 7000. This one is a genuine compact tractor, and it shows you what a clean recall looks like. Back on the 18th of November, 2003, the Consumer Product Safety Commission announced recall number 04-512 on models including the 7252 and the 7304. The high-low shift lever could pop out of gear on its own and drop the machine into neutral. The record uses a plain word for it: freewheeling. A loaded tractor with a loader or a backhoe hung on it, slipping into neutral on a slope, rolling with no drive to hold it back. 2,000 of those tractors were sold at prices between $10,000 and $14,300. And here's the number that matters most on this rung. Injuries reported, none. Cadet caught the defect, filed the recall, and had owners bring the machines in before anyone got hurt. That is the system doing its job. A problem found, a notice filed, a repair made. Hold on to that, because number 6 is the smallest recall on this list, and the cleanest, caught and closed before anyone got hurt. 2,000 machines is a small recall. The next one touched more than 100,000, and this time, people were burned. Number 5, Kubota, a run of mowers and compact tractors from model years 2014 through 2018. This is the recall from the top of the video, and now you get the whole of it. On the 7th of November 2018, the Consumer Product Safety Commission posted recall number 19-713. The coolant reservoir tank could overheat and build pressure, and when the operator opened it, hot coolant could spray straight out. The record is blunt about the count: 3 reports of burn injuries from coolant ejecting. This was not a small recall. 121,100 machines, tractors mixed in with mowers, all carrying the same pressurized tank. A person burned by their own tractor for doing nothing more than checking the coolant. And yet the fix was almost small enough to laugh at. Kubota's remedy was a free replacement cap for the reservoir tank, a cap. The whole hazard came down to a tank that held pressure it should not have, and the repair was a new cap that let it vent. Owners brought the machines in, the cap went on, and the record shows no sign the fix ever failed. So that is 2 recalls in a row that ended the way a recall is supposed to end. A hazard, a notice, a repair that held. Before the next one, do something for yourself. If you own a compact tractor, picture the model number on the side of the hood right now. Do you know whether anyone has ever checked it against a federal recall list? Hold that question, because the recalls that never got closed are still ahead. Number 4, Mahindra, the Emax 22 and 25. A real compact tractor, a subcompact built in India and sold hard to American acreage owners on price. On the 12th of November, 2015, the Consumer Product Safety Commission issued recall number 16-707. The wording is the kind that stops you cold. Fuel lines can break or leak, posing a fire hazard. Now hold the picture of where a fuel line sits. It runs from the tank, past the engine, on a machine that throws heat all day. Mahindra told the commission it had received 61 reports of cracks in the fuel tank pipe before the recall went out. 61 machines leaking fuel near a hot engine. And here is the number that keeps this one off the worst of the list. Injuries, none reported. 61 cracks, and not one of them found an ignition before the recall pulled the machines in. 2,000 of these tractors were on the ground, sold between $11,300 and $13,600. Mahindra reinforced the fuel line, and by every account on the record, that fix held. There is no second Mahindra recall for this. The fire hazard was found, filed, and closed. So that is 3 in a row that got made right, from a shift lever to a coolant cap to a fuel line. Everyone a real federal recall, everyone handled. Now the list leaves the tractors for a moment, because the next 2 machines are not tractors at all. They are the side-by-sides parked right next to them on the same lot. And both were recalled more than once. Number 3, the Kubota R TVX 1100C. Say it plain. This is not a compact tractor. It is a side-by-side utility vehicle, the kind Kubota sells off the same lot, and a buyer shopping tractors deserves to know its record, because this machine was recalled twice for 2 different problems. The first time was the 8th of December, 2015, recall number 16-710. On model years 2013 through 2015, combustible debris could pack against the exhaust manifold and catch fire. 11,500 of them were out there, priced between $21,000 and $22,000, and the record logged 7 reports of debris-related fires. Almost 6 years later, the same machine was back. On the 4th of November, 2021, recall number 22-705, for a problem that sounds almost harmless until you picture it. The floor mats could warp and degrade, and a warped mat could jam against the throttle pedal. A stuck throttle on a machine that can already move under you. This time the recall covered 48,875 units, and the record notes 1 report of a loss of control that left the driver with black eyes and bruising. So put it together. 1 utility vehicle, 2 federal recalls, almost 6 years apart, a fire the first time, and a runaway throttle the second. Nobody would call that machine settled. But the fire and the throttle were 2 separate defects, each with its own fix. The next machine on the list did something worse than get recalled twice for 2 problems. It got recalled twice for the same one. Number 2, the Kubota Sidekick, the RTV-XG 850. Same story on the label. This is a side-by-side, not a tractor, and it earns its place because of how the 2 recalls line up. The first came on the 1st of December, 2022. Recall number 23-713. The steering shaft could shear at or near the electric power steering housing, and a driver could lose steering outright. That recall covered 19,500 machines, and the record logged 5 reports of the shaft shearing, with no injuries. Here is where it turns. 1 year later, on the 14th of December, 2023, the Commission posted a second Sidekick recall, number 24-736. And this one did not cover the machines from the first recall. It covered the very next production run, the Sidekicks built from March through September of 2023, after the first recall was already public. The reason was that the steering system could be assembled wrong, and that could cause a loss of control. 3,170 of those newer machines sold between $14,500 and $18,200. Add the 2 together, and it is about 22,670. Sidekicks pulled back for losing steering inside about 12 months. The record is careful to call these 2 different defects: a sheared shaft the first time and a bad assembly the second. What does not change is the hazard, the model, or the fact that the second batch rolled off the line after Kubota already knew steering on this machine could fail. 2 recalls, 12 months apart, on the same side-by-side, for the same lost steering. The machine at number 1 shows that same shape, on a tractor far more of you own than any sidekick. Number 1. John Deere. The 1023E, the 1025R, and the 2025R. This is, by most accounts, the best-selling compact tractor in America. The green machine sitting in 100,000 barns and on 100,000 acreages, and it is the one federal regulators told owners to stop driving. On the 26th of September, 2024, the Consumer Product Safety Commission announced recall number 24-377. The defect is in the brakes. In plain words, the record says the front bell crank and the brake linkage can fail, causing the tractor to lose braking. A bell crank is a small steel bracket that carries the pull from the brake pedal to the brakes. When it fails, the pedal goes down and the machine does not stop. This is the biggest recall on the list by a wide margin. 147,900 tractors in the United States alone, sold from November of 2017 through July of 2024 for between $12,700 and $21,000. And it carries the one injury record on this whole list that names a hospital. In the Commission's own words, 4 reports of the brake linkage failing, including 1 hospitalization and 2 impact injuries. The federal remedy here was heavier than a cap or a reinforced fuel line. It was an order to stop using the tractors and take them to a dealer. And this is where recalled and fixed come apart. Owners on the Green Tractor Talk forum, a public thread hundreds of posts long, wrote that after the stop use order came down, the replacement bell crank was nowhere to be found. The part, listed at $85.96, was back ordered for owner after owner, and the wait ran into months, some of them straight through the working season. Sit with the math on that. A tractor that sold for as much as $21,000, ordered parked by the federal government, held out of the field for most of a season, waiting on a bracket that costs $86. And there is one more thread worth pulling. An owner on that same forum, reading Deere's own parts catalog, laid out a careful case that the replacement bell crank now shipping carries a part number that traces back to the same bell crank that had already been failing on the earlier machines. That is one owner's reading of a parts book, not a finding by Deere and not a finding by the government. But it is the detail that keeps this recall from closing. So before you sign for any compact tractor, new or used, do the one thing the salesman will not do for you. Write down the exact model and the serial number off the machine you are about to buy. Go to the Consumer Product Safety Commission's recall site, the federal record itself, and look it up. Then hand the serial back to the dealer and ask a question they have to answer in writing. Has the recall work on this exact machine been completed? And can I see the record of it? Because a recall notice only proves a machine can hurt you. Whether the fix ever reached the tractor sitting on that lot is the part you have to check yourself. That coolant cap got installed more than 100,000 times over. That same green tractor is still, for some owners, waiting on an $86 part. The recall is the easy part. Getting it made right is the whole ballgame, and now you know to ask.